Okay, so in nearly sorted arrays,
Yeah,
like
so let's say nearly sorted means if you don't have to keep shuffling, right? So let's say if I call my Heapify and the Heapify doesn't do anything, right? Let's say my array is something like this. If I take example for this array, my array is something like, let's say 100, then 45, then 68, then 45 children. I'll take let's say 32, then 19, 68 children. I'll take 13 and 12, right? And the last is 5. Let's say if my array is something like this,
yeah,
okay? Then in this case, I don't have to shuffle anything,
yeah.
okay?
So
Then it is on, because in that case what is going to happen is that since
oh,
I don't have to do
so
heapify
that is
anything,
one. Yeah.
this always comes out to be 1.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
One into n. Yeah.
yeah, n yeah, 1 n by 2, so that's o log n. I just have to visit all the nodes 1 and make sure that I run heapify, right? So in
Oh,
that case, right, so normally what would happen in interview, uh, the interviewer expect you to do the average case. They might ask you that, okay, in best case what it will be and in worst case what it will be, right? But
okay.
when you are calculating, always based on the algorithm, always go with the average
Average case.
case, okay? Because I mean, best and worst case, they are algorithms are not designed to take care of best and worst case.
Okay. So it is like O, big O is worst case and theta is average case. That way it is, or
So
is
you
it
should,
true?
okay, so I think you are going by the book. Don't try to remember
Okay,
the
okay.
theta and O.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'll
Okay.
tell you. So if you are referring the CLR book, right,
Yeah.
where they talk, so as I was saying, indicating in one of the first classes, that that book is considered Bible of algorithms, right,
Yeah.
from MIT, right, and these guys, they are PhDs from MIT. I'll
Yeah.
tell you, 99.9% people, they do not understand, or they haven't gone through book cover to cover. I haven't gone through it, right? I have
Yeah.
gone through most of it, and even in the interview, nobody is going to ask you that theta and this or that, right? Everybody will
Okay.
ask
Only big
you,
O.
yeah, only on average case how it will be. Where people will ask you for theta and other stuff is if you are doing thesis in your master study, or if you are going for some super fundamental research job,
Yeah.
then
So
people are going to
like I
ask
was
you.
just confused that O is like worst case running time or average case running
No,
time.
average case running time, it's always, so they have different norms, right? Take all those things as the symbols, right? And they have given theta for
Oh,
something, and for worst case something and whatnot, right? Even in Google, I bet you, even in Google, nobody is going to ask you about theta. And Google is the toughest
yeah.
interview, right? Toughest
Yeah.
company to get in. Google's acceptance rate is even much lower than Harvard
Mm.
or MIT or any other institute in the world, right? So
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
average, Google receives more than 1.5 million resumes per year.
Mm.
Okay, and for
Yeah.
each job, for one single job, Google takes about 300 candidate interview of 300 candidates before selecting a person,
Okay.
right? Before giving the job offer. So no other company or educational institute has higher, I mean, lower acceptance rate than Google, right? But even in Google, nobody is going to ask you.
Okay. Okay.
Nobody will
Yeah.
ask
Like
you theta. If you, and the one trick in interview is, if you don't know something about any topic in great detail, try to avoid it. Don't bring up.
okay.
Otherwise, you are giving the food to the interviewer, and then interviewer might ask you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's say to me somebody comes for interview, and the person has some idea about heap and binary trees and this and that, and if he starts talking, or if he couple of times if he uses those words in his answers, any of those answers, I'll just
Mm-hmm.
go into much more detail, and I'll
Yeah.
be able to figure out that he doesn't